MSP Summit, September 2025 by Channel Partners in Orlando. Great event, big event, really enjoyed it. Had 13 great conversations with vendors and MSPs. Really well attended, well organized. I love working with Bob and the team there. The first interview was with Greg Talone from Cloud IBR. Really enjoyed it. Really interesting man. I look forward to talking with Greg some more and maybe even playing some golf. Logan, of course, from Vendasta. Fascinating platform that helps MSPs. They're in another area. They're moving towards, they want to move towards MSPs to see how they can help them grow. Russ Reeder. Oh my goodness. Great MSP, XTM. Really enjoyed talking to Russ. I'm always fascinated with the growth of those large kind of master MSPs. They are master MSPs. William Rubio, of course, from Call Tower. Love working with Call Tower. He's the CRO there. They're offering a lot of areas that really MSPs need to look to expand in. Great conversation with William. Scott, of course, Scott Furman from a very great conversation. He's head of operations there, and really interesting take on what he does and how he helps MSPs, how his firm helps MSPs. Jeff Hill from Stellar Cyber. Really like talking to Jeff. He's Bulldog. He's really interesting insights. Conversation went by really quickly. Great conversation with Jeff. Ryan Stoner, who I have known for a long time. He's now with Judy Security, doing really great things, helping MSPs. Zan Stevenson. Very interesting. We opened the conversation up with just finance and where he thought he was lacking, and really dove into it and can help people in it. Has great insight right all over, to what he does now in networking and helping MSPs. Niels, yes, Niels was great too. He loves fixing things. He buys broken things and fixes them, just has an engineering mind, and how Keep It can help MSPs grow and help protect their clients. Great conversation with Neil. Paul, of course, Vander from Optory. Great conversation with Paul. The whole area, social engineering. I knew very little about this. I know a little bit more, but he's here to help MSPs. Jackie Robinson, of course, from, Anunta, right? From Connecticut, the state that I'm from. Great insight on how to help MSPs with their great desktop as a service. Michelle Raguso McBain, my longtime friend, been asking her to be on the podcast for years. She's now with a company called Red Access, doing great things there. Always love talking to Michelle. Great insight, great spirit, great energy. I just can't say enough great things about Michelle. And then lastly, of course, Cale Eisenberg, great company from Vercom. We're doing a lot of work with Vercom. Cale's got great insight. I've known Cale for 5 or 6 years now. We kind of touched base a while ago, but came back now. We have a lot of friends in common. We start off with a very interesting subject of barbershop quartets. He's a 2025 champion, and bring it right into helping MSPs with security and email security and other great services Vercom has. Great time there at the MSP Summit. Thanks so much. Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because of working way too much. I found myself at 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. I took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People ask me, how'd you do it? What's the secret? I need to lose weight. How'd you do it? How did I lose the weight? Just one word: discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission: how do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually asked them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision: growth through learning from others. How the Bulldogs doing this year? Georgia.
That's a really great question.
Bulldogs.
they're doing a pretty decent job. It was an interesting football weekend for everybody, I think.
Yes.
Any college football follower or even professional follower. So it was a interesting weekend. Georgia was lucky, and they pulled out a game against Tennessee in Tennessee. So that's a fun story.
What are the record now?
They're 2-0.
Wow.
Excuse me, 3-0.
Right, it's three weeks. Yeah.
3-0.
Yeah, because we have Bill Belichick entering.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to have some of the old blood and the new blood, kind of mingle, if you will. And I think he's been very vocal with regards to their capabilities and their position. And I think he wants to start kind of fresh, to build a program, just like our friend Mr. Saban did. Just like,
Yes, your friend.
All these other coaches, they're looking to build a program. So,
has the money situation, the portal, has it helped or hurt college football?
well, that's a political conversation. I'm going to give you my perspective.
Please.
I think it's very important for those individuals who qualify to make it to the NFL. That's where they should be reaping the benefits. I understand the benefit of the requirement of the NIL.
Name and likeness.
Name and likeness. I just don't know if I agree with it, and the reason why I don't agree with it is, where's the incentive? Right? Where's the incentive to
Getting paid regardless. Yeah.
Really great question.
Yeah, it's because the programs make so much money. The biggest sport in this country certainly is the NFL, but people don't realize the second biggest is college football. It's not NBA, it's not baseball, it's not hockey, it's not. But it's huge.
It's huge, especially in the SEC. You look at the Southeastern Conference; they've done a spectacular job. The other thing that they cherish is their ability to promote these kids from college football into NFL professional programs. So when you walk into any one of their facilities, they'll have a wall of, hey, this person's with the Chargers, this person's with Baltimore, this person's with Patriots, and so that's their selling. They're selling. Hey, we make NFL players. So.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is relatively new NIL. Less than 5 years.
Less than 5 years.
Yeah, and we see high school quarterbacks making $1 million.
Well, I haven't seen that yet.
That hasn't happened?
I haven't seen that yet.
I thought in Texas I saw it.
I haven't seen that yet. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, but that would be real disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I think you got to earn it.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing right now a lot of NIL floating around, and there's some individuals that may not qualify for that level of funding. So
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we're going to see that.
What's your favorite club in the bag?
I like a 7-iron, but
funny.
I'm a big fan of my 3-wood. I do like my 3-wood. And the 3-wood is just, you can use it for a lot of different things.
You can.
Get out of trouble. You can play it off the tee.
Right.
You can play it from the fairway. And if you've got it tweaked just right, it'll do what you want.
Yeah.
If you have the ability to make that happen.
To shape it a bit. Yeah. You play a draw or fade?
Most of at my age and my ability these days, because I don't have a whole lot of time for golf.
Right.
I love it. I do my own grips. I grip
Do you really?
my kids, and I enjoy the sport. The problem is getting to it.
Yes.
I spend quite a bit of time working. Stellar Cyber has me focused on a lot of different things these days.
Jeff, whenever people tell me that they want to start golf, I always try to talk them out of it. I mean, it's time consuming, it's expensive, it'll keep you up at night. Why put yourself, I'm over the hill. I've been playing 20 years. I have to do it.
Start it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Take lessons, right?
Lessons.
Yes. That's the big thing.
There's one book that I have watched and read, and I have 4 or 5 copies, and I've shared it with my kids, and I've shared it with friends. It's Ben Hogan's Five Fundamentals.
Ben Hogan's, yes.
And you don't, just like anything you want to be good at, you're going to read a book or you're going to watch a YouTube or whatnot. You don't choose every one of the items and make them yours. You choose a couple that you can emulate and make an impact.
Yeah.
And so with that book, I chose the posture and the grip. I didn't choose much anything else.
He has interlocking?
He has interlocking.
Yeah, he's interlocking.
But it is very very weak.
Right, it's weak.
And it's very balanced if you take a look at the approach. But that book, is the same book.
It's amazing how it's held up.
I share it with everybody.
Yeah.
I have one copy that I had in college. I have it all taped up.
Wow.
And, I have it highlighted and, I share it with my kids.
Yeah, he used to hit like a 2-iron. I mean, and those back then, those clubs were not like they are now.
No, and he still crushed the ball.
It's amazing. Yeah, sweet spots the size of, a pin. I mean, these clubs are so the technology is. Yeah, yeah.
Technology's come a long way when it comes
a long, long way. From the balls to the clubs to the courses themselves.
And there's a number of great brands that are out there, but there's not a lot of margin in the golf clubs. And so
there isn't.
It's a tough environment to live in.
Yes.
If you're a professional golfer and you're out playing on the weekends, it's fun to watch. And they get free clubs, and
right.
But when you're not a professional golfer, if you can't afford those toys, there are plenty of options. You can buy used.
Yes.
You can buy a lot of used clubs. In fact, there are a lot of
people
There's
a whole market
on YouTube
yes.
that spend time here in Florida going to garage sales, and there's plenty of golf clubs.
Yes. Yes.
And you could save a ton of money.
Yeah.
You could save a ton of money.
Yeah, the golf secondhand. You're a right-hander?
I'm right-handed.
Easier for us.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot easier for us. Yeah, I have lefties, and they can't even demo a lot of things, right? They have to buy it and then see if they can try to sell it. So we're here, of course, Jeff, at the big MSP Summit in Orlando. Big event. What are some of your goals this week?
We're here with both Judy Security and Cyflare within our booth. When we come to these events like the MSP Summit, the goal here is for us to engage and interact with those potential prospects, but also because Stellar Cyber is not a SOC, right? We don't have eyes on glass. That's why I have Judy and Cyflare with us. And our goal there is to help them identify opportunities, and then ideally, and my team has heard me say this before, is we're looking for the diamonds in the rough. Oftentimes, we'll find a couple of diamonds in the rough where they need a platform, and we're the right choice. We're going to tell the right story and present the right story, but it's a combination of two things. Our goal is to identify opportunities and potential prospects and partners for us, but also to introduce those MSPs who require a white labeled offering that Judy and Cyflare have the ability to deliver.
So how does Stellar Cyber help MSPs?
That's a really great question. From an MSP perspective, it's number one is I think it's identifying the MSP and their maturity and their capability of what they want to accomplish. Historically, MSPs have focused on managed service provider. MSSPs have focused on the security piece. And so from an MSP standpoint, where we assist those MSPs is number one, our partnership and introduction to our partners. We have a catalog of organizations across the globe that leverage Stellar Cyber. And because of our multi-tenancy, in fact, our 3 layers of multi-tenancy,
nice.
It gives our partners the ability to deliver a white-labeled offering to those MSPs, who then, of course, have customers as well. And so that's a real big differentiator for us is our multi-tenancy.
So, Jeff, when MSPs are looking for security partners, what questions should they be asking?
When MSPs are looking for security partners to help them deliver, number one, what I'm seeing is their breadth of capabilities. The breadth of capabilities from both SOC operations to include, are you capable of reporting? Are you capable of doing advisory and consulting work? I've also seen skill sets with regards to, do these organizations have the breadth and depth to provide incident response capabilities? And then the other thing that we're seeing also as a function of that is compliance. Because nowadays, when you look at end customers, they can't walk away from compliance requirements, right? You can't walk away from cyber insurance. You can't walk away from insurance these days. And so when an MSP is considering working with an MSSP, they really should look at breadth of experience, level of maturity, their capabilities to deliver, and then these ancillary benefits like incident response, compliance, reporting, and then simplicity. And that's where Stellar Cyber comes in. Stellar Cyber comes in because we provide them the simplicity of capturing all the data and then correlating that information to a single unified case. That's really important when it comes to experience, but also when you choose a partner, you have to choose a partner that's mature and that can deliver.
I'm a former MSP, and so when I talk to MSPs every day, and the things that keep them up last night, for the last 5 or 6 years, I would say, Jeff, is pretty consistent. One, cybersecurity. If their clients get attacked, they've got to allocate resources, their flat rate, they're going to lose money, they're probably going to get fired, they may even get sued, keeps them up. Second is just human capital.
Yeah.
How are they going to replace those techs if they leave?
Sure.
Unemployment here in IT and in our space is 1% for these MSPs. And lastly is just growth. The PE has poured in hundreds of millions of dollars. Their friends are selling their MSPs. How are they going to grow? Seems it can help in all three.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really quite an exciting time. I'm seeing kind of a shift, if you will, in the MSP market space. And that shift is dynamic in that you have a lot of these platform providers who are our competitors are having to reinvent themselves. And then, what organizations are looking for is simplicity, right? The more complex a tool set, the more it costs to actually to train and maintain those resources. I think Stellar Cyber makes a real big impact with regards to the simplicity of our platform, not to mention that it is multiple tools in a single license. So a good example is, SOC analysts, if they're leveraging a traditional approach, which I call alert-centric security, they take this tool, they take this tool, they take this tool, and this tool, and their goal is to, as a human, is to correlate the pieces of information and determine how best to act. With Stellar, we actually correlate that all into a single unified case. So that goes into a life balance approach for those SOC analysts because they have a much better experience with Stellar Cyber. From a cybersecurity standpoint, I speak at I'm going to be speaking at the University of Georgia.
Very nice.
Thursday on cybersecurity and a number of other topics. But this is an industry that is not going to slow down.
Right.
So when it comes to keeping, the example you shared, these people staying up at night,
Yeah.
cybersecurity, there's not much that their end customers can do without talking about cybersecurity. Be that if it's compliance, be that if it's multi-factor authentication, be that if it's training of their employees. Cybersecurity is much larger than just a firewall today. It's human capital, it's software, and there's got to be an easier way to bring that all together. And that's really where Stellar Cyber comes in, is we help simplify, we bring it together, and then when we can introduce that MSP to an MSSP who can deliver, what a great story.
Yeah, it's the whole difference.
Story. And then growth, you hit that.
Yeah.
Right? Growth, and then, position themselves for acquisition. So you can work really hard to go get a lot of customers, right? Or you can go work smartly and choose the right customers. And so my training and where I came from at both IBM and Dell and focused on the right use case. And when it comes to profitability and focus, I think Stellar Cyber with our partners give our partners the greatest ability to create revenue. And the reason why is, when you look at some of the other tools that are out there, they're very much focused on fabric-based technologies. Hey, you've got to embrace this tool, you got to get this tool, you got to get this tool.
Right.
That's not conducive to MSSPs or MSPs today. It erodes margin. And when that erodes margin, MSPs and MSSPs struggle on the back end to create that profit. And so where Stellar comes in with a single unified platform, we give our partners the ability to not only solve the business challenge, but create opportunities for revenue for those partners because of our unified approach, because of our open approach. Those are things I think make a big impact for organizations today.
Jeff, what should MSP vendors do to be better partners with MSPs?
I think there's a couple of things. I think, candidly, when they engage with MSSPs, I think the first thing they need to do is find the right partner that is willing to help them sell. Right? A lot of organizations, MSSPs, they want to own the customer. Right? And the MSPs, they have the relationship. And so there's a balance there. So you have to find the right partner who's willing to embrace a mutual approach, which is a contractual arrangement. Right? Number two, I think, from an MSP to MSSP conversation, it's like buying a house or buying a car. Be informed. Be informed. And I would stress that there are a lot of MSSPs out there very capable. What I'm seeing right now is those capable MSSPs are evolving, and they're doing much more than traditional MSSP work. They're doing risk avoidance advisory work. They're doing cyber insurance. They're doing reporting. You name it. Those are the partners when an MSSP is considering alternatives. They need to be asking those questions. And candidly, they also have to be willing to learn. right? MSPs have to be
Certainly.
willing to learn, because this whole environment here may not be an area of expertise of those organizations. And there's plenty of organizations out there that are willing to coach, mentor, and partner as they evolve as an organization. And not to mention, the final comment I'll make on this,
Yeah.
some of those MSSPs know that those MSPs want to be bigger, right? They know that they want to become more than who they are, but then there are other organizations say, hey, I just want to be an MSP. I don't want to grow. Find a partner that will embrace your vision. What is your business goal? 5 years, 6 years? I'd like to be an MSSP. I'd like to take this over myself. I'd like to develop it. But there's a lot that goes into that. So that's probably more than you wanted to hear. But
No.
quite a bit of detail.
How has AI helped or hurt security?
Yeah, that's a broad question. I think there are those out there that believe that AI is going to solve the problems of the world when it comes to a lot of different things, from both manufacturing or other things. But when it comes to cybersecurity, where Stellar Cyber makes an impact, is our ability to leverage AI and automation to bring the data together. Number one. Number two, our goal is human augmented SOC operations. And our perspective is the human is not going to go away. What is going to happen is with AI, it's going to augment that human with all the information they need without them having to make an impact on the rudimentary focus of cybersecurity, and have them focus on the investigations that are more important. The challenge is today, I think you probably recognize this, cybersecurity has become a big data problem, right? You have all these different tools. The industry itself, if you walk into that room in there's a whole bunch of different tools. Every one of those tools brings value, right? But the telemetry, the log data, everything that they're capturing, that makes it very difficult for a human to sift through and determine how best to act. Where automation and AI is going to play a role is sifting through it, enriching that data, correlating in that data, and then presenting it. And then, oh, by the way, doing it over and over and over again, so that automation, so that focus for that analyst, they're focusing on what they really need to focus on, and not focusing on the things that are remedial or not important.
So your message this week to MSPs, Jeff, is what?
My message is actually kind of broad, right? Number one is you choose a platform today that'll help you simplify operations. Number two, choose a platform that plays well with everybody else, right? That open capability is a huge differentiator for Stellar Cyber. And when you look at some of the organizations out there today, they're very much focused on their own architecture. Our open, unified approach, vastly different than everyone else. Number three, look at an option that provides you the greatest opportunity to create value and differentiate yourself. When you look at Stellar Cyber and its SIM, but then our reporting, like the coverage analyzer, and the coverage analyzer aligns itself to the MITRE ATT&CK framework, that can provide a consultative approach for our MSPs at a reporting.
Wow.
And when you can do that, you're creating value with your customers. When they see that value, they see that investment, those end customers generally engage a heck of a lot better. And so I would say the other message would be is creating value by delivering a platform that can differentiate yourself.
Very cool, Jeff. I thank you for your time this week. It's an exciting time for Stellar Cyber and just generally in the industry.
It is an exciting time. Stellar Cyber, we recognize and celebrate roughly a third of the global top 250 MSSPs leveraging our platform across the globe. Of course, we want to do better, just like anyone else is, and that's why I'm here today is to celebrate and tell that story and identify organizations that want to work with us and with our partners. So I appreciate you having me, and thank you so very much for giving me the opportunity to share our thoughts.
Anybody want to get in touch with you? How do they do so?
Yeah, they could do so at jhill@stellarcyber.ai. I have responsibility for all our MSSPs and our onboarding of organizations out there today. And/or hit our webpage, stellarcyber.ai in the partner section. You can connect there as well. So
Excellent.
Thank you so very much.
Jeff, thanks so much.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening and/or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypinz.com. There you'll find lots of resources, and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. podcast information. The video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.